Fox News alert now. Moments ago, the IRS responded to sharp criticism from Senator Chuck Grassley, who just called out the agency for deciding to pay its union employees $70 million in bonuses, despite a specific order coming from the administration not to do that. The agency now says it's forced to stick to its union contracts, meaning the folks who recently admitted to wasting millions of your money on conferences that featured line dancing lessons and lavish hotel suites, presidential suites, are now going to get big bonuses that you paid for as well. This while American families visiting Washington still can't tour the White House, which we also pay for, because Washington says, oh, we're just too strapped for cash. Joining me now, Chris Stirewalt, Fox News digital politics editor and host of Power Play on FoxNews.com. And Grassley says this is ridiculous. He says we don't have to pay these union benefits because the IRS is saying, oh, we're legally obligated. Senator Grassley says, no, you're not. And there's been an order saying you shouldn't pay discretionary bonuses when we're in a time of sequestration. And how do you get away on the heels of the old line dancing debacle, not to mention what you did to these Tea Party groups, doling out $70 million worth of taxpayer money and bonuses to these people?
Well, the president tasked Danny Werfel, who worked in Obama's budget office, to go over and be the new sheriff at the IRS. Said, you get over there, you straighten out the problems over there. Aside from the $50 million spent on conferences and entertainments for the workers, you have, of course, as you pointed out, an ongoing scandal that relates to the targeting of the president's political enemies of conservative groups by the agency. That investigation is still going on. So they send Danny Werfel over and say, go clean up over here. Well, the first big news that Danny Werfel makes is signing off on $70 million in bonuses for this woe-begotten, very troubled agency. This looks like a pretty dramatic miscue for an agency that's seen its share in recent months.
Because of the union. The National Treasury Employees Union, that's the IRS's union, apparently is claiming it deserves these bonuses and that they were agreed to. And yet when asked by the reporters looking into this to respond, they refuse to say anything on the record. Of course, they just want their money, but they don't want to have to justify it. And Danny Werfel, who writes this order initially when he's not at the IRS saying no discretionary bonuses, that's what the big boss says, right. Now is, I mean, how is he justifying this? We're not talking about chump change, $70 million to the line dancing, overspending, Tea Party targeting IRS workers who are under criminal investigation, some of them.
Well, and here's the other thing. The administration says, as you pointed out, there is not enough money to allow the public to tour the White House. There is not enough money to fund cancer research. There's not enough money for all kinds of things that they say are necessary. And we're cutting corners wherever we can, using contractors at the NSA, doing everything possible to try to save money. And then here's this. The answer probably is as simple as this. There is no more powerful constituency in the Democratic Party than government worker unions. It is the cornerstone, the bedrock of the modern Democratic Party are these government worker unions. They're the most important patrons of the president's party. They're the most important patrons of all the Democrats. They are the key to everything they do electorally. They have incredible clout inside this party, so they probably did not want to upset them. And to be slightly conspiracy theorist, let me just say that this might not be a good time to disappoint and frustrate rank-and-file workers at the IRS when you're hoping that they will stay under the bus that has been backed over them as it relates to the abuse of power at the agency.
To your point, IRS had notified the employee union that it was going to reclaim these bonuses, and then it apparently reversed itself. And the question is, why did it do that? And how can we stop our money from going out in this way? Chris, thank you.
You bet.